Squid Comics Podcast 2.0, episode 16. It always feels like it's a lot of words I gotta get out without messing up.
It's a big intro.
Right? 2.0, episode 17? Is that what I said?
You said 16 originally. But
Did I? I think it's 17. It says on the little live video feed, so you'll figure it out.
Doesn't matter.
Whatever.
We'll figure it out.
You'll figure it out. I'm Drew.
I'm Don.
I'm Scott.
And we get together every other week and we talk about comic books. There wasn't a lot of movies. Sometimes we talk about movies and TV, but there wasn't a lot going on on that front.
I want to ask you guys a question.
Ask us a
Did
question.
I tell you last time that I've seen Blade Runner 2049?
No.
I've seen Blade Runner 2049.
And you wish they didn't make it.
I don't know about that.
He wished what?
I can't
asked
say
him if he
I
wished
can't.
they didn't make it.
It was an excellent movie.
I
What are you
can't say
talking about?
I'm a big fan of the first one. So
But you
but
probably
part
like
of that was because
the second one better.
That's right.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
we were talking to you.
Because
and
it's
you
more
had never
modern.
seen it.
Yeah,
You
I
have
had
to
never
believe
seen
you
it
never saw
because
Blade
probably
Runner.
because of the fact that I was young at the time when it originally came out. Wasn't it R or maybe it was?
Your
PG?
parents let you watch our movies?
Not when I was single digits. So
That's weird.
I guess I would have been 11.
My dad was taking me to the theater to see Aliens when I was like 11.
Wow, Dad, no,
Nope.
not my parents. So I think I got to watch some rated R ones.
Is
probably when I
it
was,
out on
15
DVD?
or something? So Blade Runner 2049.
Aliens? Yes, it is.
Aliens is
I don't know.
2049. I think so. I think the digital stuff's out anyway.
I don't think it's out on regular,
So,
maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
I want to get it because I haven't seen it. And it just
Okay.
came out on DVD.
Did you see Blade Runner the 2049? I liked
Yes, I
it
saw it in the theater.
for the most part. I cannot believe I feel
would have
sorry
saw
for
it in
you
the theater. No, why?
because
It's
it is long. Holy shit, it's long, and it feels long. I mean, it's like very
It's slow.
Yes,
It was
is-
an hour and 15 minutes.
It's like a Quentin Tarantino.
It was not. It was 2.5 hours plus. So,
It's a very slow movie, but I like it. It
Very
takes its time,
slow.
but in a good way. It's kind of like I said, it's like
but,
a
it,
Quentin
but
Tarantino.
I thought it
movie.
was a very good lead, or basically sequel to the original in a lot of ways, because I didn't
Yeah.
feel the original was all that fast moving either.
No,
So I felt
wasn't-
it kept the
wasn't
same kind of
faster.
pace and
Yeah.
everything else from that, and really followed on fairly well from the original, I thought.
Well, it's by the same director who did Arrival. Did you see Arrival?
Yes, and
That
Arrival
movie is very
as
slow,
crap
too.
as well, so.
And it was only an hour and a half, but it felt like it was much longer.
Yeah, although I did like that one though too.
I liked it too. Well, I liked Blade Runner. So.
Yeah, I
like
can't
the
say I was a
Arrival.
big fan of Blade Runner, but like I said, I watched it too late in life for the most part too.
No, I mean 2049. I liked
But
it.
2049, yeah, I mean, overall it is. It's just that I have a hard time recommending it to anybody because with our society anyway now, where it's so fast, bang, everything
Well,
has
nobody
to
has
move.
any patience.
Exactly, that's trying to watch a movie like that. Like I said, I don't know if I could have watched it even in a theater, but at least
Well,
like that I was at home. So
It was funny because someone was saying how like it didn't do very well at the box office. It's like, well, yeah, it's a slow sci-fi movie with no action hardly any. I mean,
Very-
there's a little
very
bit,
little, yeah.
very little action. I mean, it's very cerebral. It's like, yeah, maybe like a few people are going to want to see that, but not the mass
not
market.
the mass market. No, I agree.
I don't know who they thought that movie was going to appeal to, other than me.
Everybody who loved the first one?
Which the first one didn't really do that well. I mean, I know
Yeah.
it's become a cult classic,
Yeah.
but it's not like it was doing gangbusters even back in the day. For the same reason,
Back in the
it was kind of a slow, cerebral movie, not a lot of action. The first one maybe had more action. I don't know.
You probably did.
Not much though. I really liked it. It's a very well done movie.
I would watch it.
The soundtrack was really cool. Did you like that? I think it was better in the theater because it had that loud like.
Could be.
You know,
I'm not
it
a
was
big
like
fan of the
it was like
soundtrack, but
really loud and like.
I
Obnoxious.
wasn't that much of a fan of it in Blade Runner either because it felt so 80s,
Yeah.
with a lot of the digital,
Yeah.
keyboard sound or whatever you want to say, synthesized sound, I guess.
Well,
is
this
what I
has
should
some synthesized, but it's a little more modern. I think.
say. Well,
the new one.
I didn't feel it was modern at all. I felt it was a good way of leading there again. They basically took, I felt like something very similar from the original and
Yeah.
put it in there. But like I said, I wasn't a fan of the score the first time around, so listening to this
Let's
one was
see.
kind of like, it's more the same, yeah. But good acting in there and everything else, and some pretty cool special effects, and
Yeah.
like it's, you mentioned, pretty good story.
Did you ever see the movie Her with Joaquin Phoenix?
No, because that's where his house is a
AI?
AI or something, right?
It's like his phone, isn't it?
Oh, is it a phone? Okay.
But I think you can transfer it to his house.
Okay.
But he has a little earpiece that he's talking to.
Okay.
He's his personal assistant, but he falls in love with her.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see it?
No.
Okay.
I know
I
of it.
felt like Blade Runner was almost a mishmash of her and the original Blade Runner. Because they had the whole storyline with the AI,
Yeah.
which was pretty different than the first Blade Runner. I mean, I guess it sort of has the same theme, but pretty different, I thought. I mean, it really felt more like... I guess they almost could have cut that out. I didn't really think that added much to the story. I mean, I realized thematically it kind of fit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, you're right. From a story perspective, was it really required? I think it was a little bit, just because it was help reinforcing the idea of who he thought he was, that type of thing.
Yeah, that's
So-
true. So, anyway. He had a cool twist, too.
Yeah, somewhat.
I mean,
Yeah, it was kind of a little mystery thing going on.
yeah. So, I liked it. But yeah, I think I'd actually have more trouble seeing it at home because I'd be so distracted because it was so slow. At least in the theater, you're stuck there. You can't do anything else, so you gotta
good
watch
point.
it.
Good point.
I prefer to see slow movies in the theater. Like I saw Dunkirk. Have you seen that?
I have not.
Oh my god, don't waste your time.
Really? Not a fan, huh?
Not a fan at all.
Wow, Christopher Nolan.
I usually love Christopher Nolan.
Yeah.
I loved his early stuff more than his later stuff. I really liked Memento and The Prestige.
Did you like The Prestige?
Love The Prestige.
I think I
Inception
liked
was okay,
the direction
Interstellar
of that,
was
but I
okay.
wasn't a fan of the story in Prestige myself.
Yeah.
It's a little odd. And there again, I think that was a little one that was a slow burn that felt long. But
The problem with Dunkirk is he's intentionally not giving you very much information, and so it just feels like, which for some movies that works. Like Memento, that's the whole point of the movie is you're trying to figure it out, right?
mm-hmm.
But for Dunkirk, a war movie, I kind of wanted a little more upfront information to help me kind of understand what was going on. Because I went in pretty blind, like I didn't like doing any research, and I mean, I didn't really remember what Dunkirk was and what the whole point of Dunkirk was. Like I didn't read anything.
I wouldn't know either. I mean, except for I
mean,
couldn't even.
they give you like maybe 5 lines at the beginning saying like, they're evacuating Dunkirk, and that's all they really give you. And I'm like, but I'm like, well, what point of the war is this? Is this early in the war? Is this late in the war? I mean, why are they evacuating? Because it's like on a beach, and you're like, it's almost like a D-Day type thing, but they're evacuating. I'm like, well, I didn't understand the strategy or the strategic historical point in time when the movie was taking place, and they don't give that to you. I'm like, okay. So, anyway. And they have a weird time shift thing in there, which is just kind of confusing for the sake of being confusing. I don't think it really adds anything. You didn't see Dunkirk?
I'm excited to watch it. Okay.
Nice. You might love it. Now that I've talked it down, you may think it's the
That's
greatest
very
thing
true.
ever.
That has happened before.
Oh my god, Don, you have like 3 stacks of comics that you're
You have
talking-
a lot.
I'm going to turn the camera.
No, have
show
you guys-
Don's 3 stacks of comics.
Have you guys watched, I'm sure you haven't, but you need to watch Into the Badlands? Have you heard of that show?
Yes,
It's on AMC.
because it used to be on after Walking Dead. It was the one where it was like kind of a futuristic type thing where all these
Yeah.
people knowing.
Oh my god, there
martial
are
arts
some
and stuff.
insane fight scenes in that show. It's so good just to watch. It's almost like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, like visually, but it's interesting. If that makes sense. I wasn't a big fan of that, but man, I've been behind. Like I watched the first season, and I just finished watching the second season. But I mean, it aired like back in May,
Yeah.
like last year.
Dude, are they still doing that?
I hope
Maybe
so
cancel
because
it?
well, I guess they could end it the way they ended it, but they kind of left it open. Like they almost left. Spoiler alert for a show you're never gonna watch, but they almost left it open. Like almost, I got like a lone wolf and cub kind of feel, without spoiling a whole bunch of crap from a show that came out in May. But I don't know.
Okay.
But no, it's really good. I mean, the
Really?
like the fight
You're like the
scenes.
first person I've heard that actually said it was good. I know I watched like the first episode.
I
or something,
enjoyed
and
the
thought it was
first
okay,
season.
but-
I enjoyed the first season, and then I eventually got around to just watching the second season. But man, there's some really good, like choreographed fight scenes and fights, and I mean, it's all right. I mean, yeah, it's kind of like futuristic, but like backwards.
Right,
like,
right. Yeah, it's like after an apocalyptic.
After an
type thing.
apocalyptic,
Yeah.
and so they're back to, but they still have like motorcycles and cars, but not everybody has them, and I don't know. It's pretty cool.
Sounds horrible.
It's not horrible.
Is it better or worse than Lucifer?
It's, see, I like Lucifer.
I understand. That's why I'm asking.
It's better than Lucifer.
Okay, thank God.
Not all TV's not good.
Oh, I know.
There's good TV.
There is.
All right.
All right, better get started. I mean, you got a ton
Savage
of
Dragon.
stuff.
I got caught
I don't
up.
have 230.
What?
Can't talk about that one.
How do you not have 230?
It hasn't come yet.
I got it in my box.
I have a subscription through Image Comics, and they ship it
Oh.
late.
Okay, well, that's fine. I
We
mean,
can stop
nothing
at
really
229.
happened. Okay, so like 229, the cover.
Yeah.
Like I just kind of glanced at it. I'm like, why is she looking?
At first,
bug?
I thought it was a bug.
I thought it was a bug
No,
too.
It's
and
a finger.
then I read the issue, and then the cover made sense. I'm like, oh my god, it's his finger.
Did that happen in a?
Hmm?
Did that? But there was never the finger in the book.
Yeah,
was
he
there?
got his finger sliced off.
Oh, did he? Oh, that's right.
Right
he
in
did.
front of the family,
Yeah, that's right.
right there.
She doesn't pick one up.
Well, no, but
I think the cover is misleading.
so I got back. I caught 226,
Cover your
227,
eyes.
228,
Cool.
229.
Awesome.
Yeah,
He's in Canada.
yeah, because he had to leave because of the illegal aliens.
Yeah, he's an illegal alien.
Illegal.
Literally an alien. I don't think he's illegal there because he was born here.
Yeah, I know.
Or was he born in Dimension X? No, he was born here. And then
He was born here,
Okay.
but the whole hoopla with the Trump getting rid of the illegals or whatever.
But he's not illegal.
I know, but the whole point of the story is that the Trump followers aren't the brightest
That's
people,
true.
and they're racist, and they just want to get rid of everybody that's not supposed to be here, so they don't
I'm
think
with
he
you.
should be here.
All right. All right.
That was the whole point of 226.
Yes, I caught that. A lot of
So-
people got mad in the letters called. They were like,
Yeah, I know. One dude
"You're
was like,
being
dropped it.
you're being rude to Trump supporters," and he's like, "I took those from like quotes from real Trump supporters
Real
on TV.
tweets. Real
I
tweets.
don't know what to tell you, buddy."
And he even drew himself into. He's one of the protesters.
Oh, is it
He's like one of the Trump protester guys that
Nice.
go and get him or whatever.
cool?
Yeah. So, man, this book is.
Gone off the rails. Little high in the adult content.
Yeah. I don't mind the. I actually, you know what? I mean, like, I'm not.
Don't mind the sex and violence.
Well, I don't really mind it, but man, it's like
I was just thinking that's a lot of fluid,
that is.
right? That's all I'm thinking. I'm like,
You
what
have
the
to see this
heck?
stuff,
I see
He's-
that.
man.
And it really got everywhere.
And then
Who has to clean that up?
and then they continued it into.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah,
Oh.
they're both. Yeah,
No, yeah, 228 and 229.
Yeah, it's
It's
kind of crazy.
and then
Does 230 continue that trend, or does it take it back a notch?
I think it continues.
It's right here.
Yeah, let me see.
Yeah,
Oh
it's
yeah,
over
there's a big spoiler reveal in 230.
Oh, okay. Well, she's pregnant. That was in
Was that in
229?
229?
That was in
Yeah.
229.
Oh, okay, yes. Okay, well then, no, nothing. There is there's the three girls that are in Dimension X.
They've given up clothes.
Well, they've been beaten off of them.
Oh,
They're
yes.
just like tatters. So that
Right.
everything there is no clothes wearing whatsoever. There was a funny scene in that's along the lines of the sex thing. They're in an elevator,
Yeah.
and she obviously has to have it, so they stop the elevator and they have sex in the elevator.
Gotcha.
And then there's a guy waiting, and he's like, "I'm waiting for a meeting." He's like, "What's going on with this elevator?" And it finally stops, and the doors open, and they come out, and he's like, "What have you guys been doing in there?" And then he walks in, and he slips and falls down.
Nice.
So I just ruined 230 for you.
Thank you.
But yeah,
I asked you not to do that.
I ruined the sex joke in 230. Yeah, it's I like Savage Dragon. I like Eric Larson. I don't know that really I don't know that it needs to be in there, but I don't really know that it doesn't need to be in there.
It
Like,
needs, yeah, I mean, it doesn't need to be there, but it's
I want
his
it
book.
to
He can
be
do whatever
Eric
he wants.
Larson's story. I want
That's
him
right.
to do whatever
If
he
that's
wants.
what he wants in there,
If
that's
that's what he
in
wants in there, that's fine. I mean,
I'm with you.
but yeah, that's funny though that we both thought that that was a bug.
Yeah, it does look kind of like a bug with the hair and stuff.
Right?
Mhm.
It looks like a bug. I'm like, why is she holding a bug?
Yeah.
Then I read the issue and I'm like, that's not a bug. That's his finger.
Yes. It's his finger.
He gets his fingers chopped off.
I've seen that as
He's
well.
fighting a bad guy.
Yeah.
Just gotta glance through it.
Okay, I'll keep going.
That'd be great.
I read Hero Killers. It was a 5-issue miniseries.
Ryan Brown wrote
Ryan
it.
Brown wrote it, and Pete Woods draw.
Ryan Brown is the guy who wrote and drew God Hates Astronauts,
Oh,
and also
really?
he does the art on curse words right
which
now.
Scott has written.
I haven't read that one.
Okay,
I've
so
read
this
David's
is
House Astronauts.
yeah. So this is from the project of Superpowers. So it's like a shoot off of the project
Spin off, I
Superpowers
think, is
world.
or shoot offshoot.
Offshoot.
Not shoot off. Shoot off.
Offshoot, spin,
Yeah.
off,
Offshoot or spin off. Not
spin off, off spin,
Not shoot off.
off spin. It's an off spin and a shoot off.
No, that's incorrect.
Okay, so
The shoot off.
all right, so the Hero Killers, the world of superpowers. Basically, there's a town, and they had a lot of crime, and so the mayor invited all of the superheroes to come and live in their town to get rid of all the crime,
Yeah.
and actually like sponsored them, like gave them somewhere to live, like paid them a salary. Basically, kind of like gave them bounties. So like whenever they would bring in a supervillain, they would pay them or whatever. Well, all the superheroes have been living there for a long time now, and there's no more crime. There's no more criminals. So they like one bad guy shows up and like 60 supervillains show, or one supervillain shows up and like 60 superheroes show up to try to kill him.
Do they each get a
To
piece?
try to get him. No, they have to fight for the bounty. So it's
Oh.
really cutthroat.
Nice.
Well, anyway, the Black Terror is one of the superheroes in that, and they all have sidekicks, and he's just a total jackass jerk. He treats his sidekick like crap or whatever. Well, so they go on. It starts with this big battle or whatever, and everybody shows up, and the Black Terror he goes back to his house and he makes his sidekick like order him hookers and get him food and all this stuff, and he's just sick of it. So these three sidekick guys, they go out and they're down by, like, they go hang out and they're down by the dock, and this one of the supervillains shows up. Well, they take him out. And then the Black Terror shows up, and he's like, "Oh, I'm going to take credit for this." And they're like, "You can't take credit for this. We did this. Like, you don't give us any respect." Well, the evil scientist guy that they take out, he has this gun, and they accidentally shoot the Black Terror and kill him.
Yeah.
And so it's basically just they try to cover up that murder. Then the other superheroes are like, "Well, you said this happened." Well, they end up killing everybody. Like, they'll come and say something, so they'll kill that guy, and they just keep going on this killing spree. It's pretty funny.
Hence the name Hero Killer.
Yes, hence the name Hero Killers. Well, the twist, the flip in it
I
is
thought that
that
was a twist.
it's not like a disintegration ray. It's a teleportation gun. So
Oh.
it teleports. He keeps teleporting all these guys to like another dimension, and the evil scientist guy is there too, and he's actually trying to build a thing to get back to the real world or whatever.
Gotcha.
So it's funny. It's Ryan Brown. I mean, it's comedic. It's a good read. I really enjoyed it. It's fun,
Cool.
interesting, and fun. So I recommend it. It came out a long time ago,
A long time ago.
last year,
Yes,
The galaxy
May.
far, far away.
May. Yeah, May.
Less
last
than a year.
Less than a year. But yeah, very good. The story's funny, and the art's good. I like Pete Woods.
Pete Woods is pretty solid.
Pete Woods is a pretty solid dude. So I read that.
Alright, cool. I read X-Men Grand Design.
Yeah.
If you have not picked this up, you should, especially if you're an X fan.
I picked it up. I just haven't read it.
Yeah, I
It
know.
looks like they're going real retro there.
Yeah, it's pretty retro. It's basically the history of the X-Men.
Ah. We haven't
Told.
heard that like 15 times? Or?
Yeah, but it's broken down in a very, like, laid out, concise way. You know, usually we've heard the history, but it's always been like through like flashbacks, and this like starts from the beginning and just like tells the whole like history. It's pretty cool.
This is by Ed Piskor.
It's very well done, Ed Piskor. He does a lot of biographical comics.
He did Hip Hop Family Tree.
Which was the history of hip hop.
Hop Anonymous.
Now he's doing the history of the X-Men. He also did a book called WYSIWYG, which was about the very first hacker guy. I can't remember the guy's name, but it's weird how the paper has this like off-white look, you know?
Yeah.
And like it looks very retro, but then when a lot of times he has this really bright like pure white, and it really pops. It's a really cool effect that he uses throughout the book. Like here, it's like I don't know. It's just really cool the way it's done. Like even the thought bubbles are like off-white, but then like white in the book, and so I mean it's pretty comprehensive. It pretty much covers everything. You know, like Mr. Sinister's in there. You know, and so all the stuff that's been like retconned throughout the years was like, oh, what really happened back then? He's incorporated into the story, so you get like everything as it happened type of thing. So it's pretty cool. It's going to be 6 issues, but he's going to do it in 2-issue chunks. So it'll be like 1 and 2, and then another series 1 and 2, and then another series 1 and 2. So I think altogether it'll be 6 total issues. But these are like super oversized, like 40-some pages. I think.
You have this as well, Don?
What?
You have that as well?
Yeah, I got it. I just didn't get a chance to read it yet.
But yeah, it doesn't.
You read all this, but you missed that.
But it doesn't get very far. It really gets to basically the original X-Men just get formed at the end of this book.
Gotcha.
I don't even think they run into Magneto yet.
I really got into reading the trades and hardcovers this past 2 weeks.
So it's almost a nice little compendium or whatever they call it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's really well done. It's really well written. It's just kind of neat seeing it all kind of brought together in like a coherent story. At first I thought, well, it might be kind of boring, but for some reason it wasn't. It was like really, intriguing and just really fun to read. Because you're like, well, I know all this, but you do, but he kind of presents it in such an interesting way. And the art's pretty cool too. I know it's not like your typical, like Marvel superhero art, but it's got a really cool style.
I thought it fits probably the kind of the feel though. As well,
it
too,
does.
a
Very much
nostalgic
so.
feel.
Yeah, no, it's very cool. Definitely worth checking out. Right. You can do one. Or Scott should do one.
No, keep going. You got like a ton.
I got caught up on my Dark Knight's Metal because you were asking me about like Batman and like Dark
was
Knight.
good. I didn't want to hear a review.
Well, here's the thing. I read 1, 2, and 3
I already know what metal is.
of the series, and then they had a bunch of one-shots that I bought. I can't really tell you what the hell's going on either. I read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I read like 8 issues.
Is that all by Scott Snyder, or do they have different writers?
The main series is by Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo.
Yeah.
I'm not sure who the offshoot series are done by. I think some of them were kind of cool. Maybe that's why I bought them.
So what's the idea behind them?
Okay, so like
That's
Batman,
actually a really cool cover, though. I kind of like that.
It's all
one.
Capullo. Yeah, that's good.
So like
Frank Thierry.
it's Snyder said that this is incorporated. He's been building this story from the beginning, like he's laid Easter eggs and stuff. But so there's this metal substance or whatever. I think I'm gonna butcher the crap out of this.
I'm very scared.
They discovered, and so Batman is like trying to get this. Well, it opened up like a rift to like another universe or whatever, and it's like
It's like metallic.
It's
like metal.
Prelude
it's like the other.
to metal.
It's
like a
yeah, that was
zero.
the first one. That was the 0 one. I put him out of
Even
order.
though it says 1, but
Yeah.
okay.
That's confusing.
So it's basically there's like these evil universe Batmans or whatever that are all made out of metal or whatever.
And they're coming to the DC.
And they're coming to the DC universe. Like I read the prelude and then the 3 issues, and like nothing even really started. Like I don't even know what happened. Like the main story hasn't even like freaking started yet.
So the main story is happening in the regular Batman book, right?
No, this is its own separate event.
But isn't it bleeding through into the regular?
I don't
Batman
know.
book?
I'm way behind on Batman, so I have
Wow.
no idea. But this is a series called Dark Knight's Metal.
So how many issues is it going to be done?
I believe it's like 5 or 6.
And you've got how many here?
He's got
But they did
3
a ton-
of the regular,
Yeah,
and then
and a
he's
bunch
got
of
all these
one-shots.
weird...
One shot.
Why'd you buy all the one shots? That seems like
Because
such
he's
a
got to have it all.
amateur
No.
move.
I don't have to have them, and I wasn't going to. But with DCBS, they did like a bundle,
Oh yeah, that's how they
and
get
it
you.
was like super
Always the bundle.
discounted. And there were some in there that I wanted for the artist or the creator. I wanted to read them, so I was going to buy like one or two, and then they had like a bundle, so it was like the same
It's
price.
like I can get all of them for free then, you know, and get the ones.
Yeah,
that I
it's
want.
like getting
It
them
wasn't
for
free. Trust me, I've seen those books.
I think there's
that good.
some. They've been knocking the crap out of that stuff. They've been hitting that stuff heavy.
Who has?
DCBS. They've been
Yeah.
doing
I
heavy.
mean, best case scenario, it's 50% off.
Might have even been more. I've seen 55.
55.
Maybe 55.
All right.
But these were like
So you don't
$4
recommend
books.
it though, huh?
So if someone could read it and understand it, then I would recommend it. But I'm not. I mean, not.
That's
being
not-
bad,
you're
I
not
can
that
read
guy.
it and understand it.
You're not that guy.
Let's put it this way. It didn't make an impression on me, obviously.
All right.
Most of this other stuff, I can tell you what happened. That one, I can't really tell
So
you.
that one you
So as you were
forgot.
reading it, you were zoning off.
No, I was paying attention. I'm
just-
telling you, man. Like nothing.
Man, it sounds like a challenge.
Nothing even happened until like issue 3.
I'm reading all these.
You're gonna read
You
them?
read them,
I'm going to tell you everything that happened.
and then
You're gonna come in and say, "I loved it. It had so
you
much."
read it, and then come back and explain to me.
I actually
All right.
don't.
what it's about and what happened.
Unless Scott
In
was
fact,
reading.
when is the last time you've read a really good Batman story?
The last time I read
Dark
it,
Knight.
the
Yeah, I know, which was like in the
This-
80s. But
I think you would really dig this.
Sure, what isn't it?
and
dude
what
who
is
does
this?
Kane?
It is.
Is it
Grist.
Yeah, isn't it Grist?
Yeah.
Of course.
It's
I wish
called
you'd do
The
my
One of
man.
Five.
How and Why He Stayed. It's a mini-series, 5-issue mini-series. It's from the pages of Hellboy.
It does look that way.
It's by Paul Grist, and it's a slice-of-life story, Drew.
I
You'd
love Paul
it.
Grist. I love Slice of Life.
I know.
And I
this
love
is
Mike Mignola.
right
and I
up
love
your alley.
Hellboy.
Yeah.
There's
Okay.
really nothing about it I
I was
wouldn't.
going to say, this just
so-
sounds like an automatic.
Basically, this book, I remember what happened in this book.
That's good.
So, at the
Because
beginning...
it was well done.
It was well
Oh,
done.
look at that.
So, at the
I
beginning
see some Hellboy.
of the book, it starts out with this alien character. I can't remember his name.
He's the visitor.
He's the visitor.
Yeah.
It starts out when Hellboy comes in 1941,
Whatever, yeah.
whatever year Hellboy appears.
Sure.
Sometime
Well,
there in one of
His
the World Wars.
people have sent him to Earth to take out Hellboy
Okay.
because Hellboy is going to grow up and destroy the world or whatever. So he's supposed to come and kill him. Well, when he's there, when Hellboy appears, and Hellboy's just a kid, and so he's like, I can't take him out. And so like the people that he's talking to on the spaceship, they're like, did you complete your mission? And he's like, no, I couldn't do it. And they're like, what do you mean you couldn't do it? And he's like, well, he's just a kid, and he might grow up to not be the guy that we think he's going to be. So he's like, I'll stay here and keep an eye on him. And if he gets out of line, I'll take him out.
How and why he stayed.
And they're like, yes. And his
He just explained it all
His
there. It could
spaceship-
have been
Now I
one-
need to read the book.
I know.
his
One
spaceship,
issue.
his spaceship is like, the people are like, well, if we leave, we're not going to be back to pick you up for like
40 years.
80 years or
80
something.
years, wow.
Whatever.
How
40
long do these
years,
people
50
live?
Years, whatever. They must live a long time. So,
So
anyway,
it's like
he's
2 weeks.
Huh?
It'd be like 2 weeks to you or me.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, he ends up staying and he follows Hellboy around, and so you get to see like, different parts of Hellboy's life where he fights different people and he like helps them, like behind the scenes. And he's keeping an eye on him. Well, he ends up he's here on Earth, and he ends up falling in love, and he gets married, and his wife ages and he doesn't, and so
It's like a bicentennial man thing.
yeah, and so I don't want to ruin any more of it, but that's the gist of the story. It's really cool. I really enjoyed it, but I really thought that it would be something that you would really like, because you like Paul Grist, you like Hellboy, you like Slice of Life. It's a really good story. It's really
And I
well
like
done.
good stories.
And you do like
Yay.
good stories. Good
You
stories,
do.
good art. But yeah, I really enjoyed that book. That's a good recommendation.
Cool.
Probably nobody but me bought it.
No, I think it did pretty well, actually. It's Hellboy.
Yeah, you get in that
Any
Hellboy
Hellboy does.
universe and
That just sells.
people buy it.
It must. They keep making more.
We do.
Cool.
Yeah, that's a good.
I'll
you
pick
should-
it up in the trade.
Yeah, you should read it. All right, I'm done for a little bit. I'll let someone else talk.
Alright, I tore through my Next Men Volume 1 and Volume 2. Look at this awesome
That is the
cover.
best cover.
That is the
Right.
best cover ever.
It's the
Next
space.
Man.
Man, you really went all out on that.
One.
On
Where's
that
the
cover.
one? Oh, there it is down there. Next Men Volume 1. So this collects the
How can
entire
you-
Nextmen.
How can you afford to publish collections like that?
It starts with 2112.
Ooh, you put 2112 in it.
That's like a weight.
And
Yeah,
20
that's not newsprint, buddy.
And then it continues with Nextmen number 0. So 2112 is obviously the year 2112, so it's the future. And so the
It's
Nextmen...
our past.
If you've never read Nextmen...
Oh, wait, no. It is our future.
I was
Nextmen
gonna say, not
is
yet.
about
I was
these...
thinking
We're not
20
quite
I
there.
was thinking 2012.
Nextmen is about these 5 kids. Some are more like teenagers or slightly older. And they basically live in this place called the Greenery. And it's like this world where everything is perfect. And they kind of have some special abilities. Like one guy's really strong. Another guy can see really far. One guy can run really fast. So it's like your basic superhero, abilities. But they live in this greenery. Well, it turns out this greenery is actually like a virtual reality environment. And they're like part of a government experiment program that's been experimenting on these kids. What it comes down to is they're trying to unlock like their genetic potential to kind of make them sort of mutants or make them the next evolution of humankind or whatever. Well, anyway, when they get busted out of this place, like they wake up and they come to the real world, they have no idea, what's going on, so they're kind of confused. And their powers start manifesting themselves in more physical ways. Like the guy who has X-ray vision, his eyes start becoming really big so that his body starts to represent what it would really be like if he could see on all these spectrums of light. Like they're really large and bulbous and almost look like insect eyes. And the kid who runs really fast, his leg muscles get like huge. So he has like these huge leg muscles. And when he runs, it like tears up the bottom of his feet because his body can't take it. You know what I mean? So it takes like superpowers, but gives him like a sort of a more realistic kind of slant or whatever, Like the really strong guy, he's like so strong that he can't even be around other people because he could just with not even knowing he could accidentally like knock him across the room, type of thing. And then another girl, she's like indestructible, where her skin becomes so hard that her hair is like knives. If you touch her hair, it like slices your hand, And she becomes really detached from everybody else because she can have no human contact, because she can't feel anything because her skin is like super, desensitized or whatever. So. But anyway, so basically they get wrapped up in this whole big government program conspiracy. There's like agents in different government organizations. There's a senator, and Senator Hilltop, and he's like, pulling some of the strings. He's kind of like the bad guy. It's a very complex story, and there's a lot going on. And it went for like 20-some issues with Dark Horse back in the 90s. Then it went on hiatus, and then John Byrne came back and finished the story out in just the last 10 years or so
At IDW.
He took a weird turn. Like when it ends at Dark Horse, it ends at a very interesting point. It doesn't really wrap everything up, but it kind of does. And then when it comes back with IDW, it takes instead of continuing right where the story left off, it does this really weird time shift into the future again, and there's this huge time travel storyline. It's a really interesting. Not necessarily, I wouldn't recommend it, but it's a really interesting way to pick it back up. I wish it would have been. It's been so long, you can't really get right back in the same groove. Like his art has changed a little bit, his writing style has changed a little bit. It would be interesting to see what it would have been like if he had jumped.
Older and bitterer.
Maybe, but it would have been interesting to see what it would have been like if he had done it right away. Because he does this weird, they get scattered through time. So, one guy's, in the German concentration camps. One of the ladies is, back, the African-American lady, she's back in the, Civil War time. So people think she's, an escaped slave, and she doesn't understand that she's, in a different time. One girl is, trying to stop Lincoln's assassination. It's this weird, history thing. And then it starts, and then they change history, and then it kind of changes the future and the present, and it just gets really weird. And it becomes this weird, convoluted time thing. And then they kind of wrap that up, and it's kind of in a nice little bow for the most part. That ends. But then he does this other series called Nextmen Aftermath, which as far as I'm concerned, after reading it, could have just not existed. It really doesn't add hardly anything. The only thing it does, one of the characters' names is Jazz. It sort of gives her a happy ending, I guess, a little bit. Gives her own sort of happy ending, whereas the other one didn't really. And I guess she was this dangling thread, but the way he does it with the story is just really weird. It's kind of like a whole kitchen sink approach, and it's just, I don't know, it felt very different than the rest of the book. So, but the problem with talking about something like this is it's 40-some issues, and it's hard to give a concise review about something that's so expansive. I mean, and that's kind of the problem. Is I'm trying.
I would like to sit down and reread that at some point.
It's worth rereading.
I'll
Like I
just
said,
borrow your
I definitely enjoyed the
compilation.
first 28 issues better than the IDW stuff, just because I felt like there was too much of a tonal shift, you know.
Mm.
But yeah, I don't know. It would be interesting if he hadn't taken like a 10 or 15-year hiatus, for however long it was. What it would have been like.
Yeah.
I don't know. Sometimes you just can't go home again. But it still does wrap up pretty nice. Like I said, before he does that whole aftermath thing, it really felt like he did a pretty good job kind of tying everything up. But yeah, that aftermath story was kind of strange.
Hmm.
So anyway, that's my John Byrne's Next Men.
I'll go again. I really want to talk about this. Thor. I got caught up on Thor.
Is that they had the James Herron issues?
Yes.
Are they pretty cool?
Oh, yeah. I didn't realize that I wanted a James Herron drawn Thor until I saw a James Herron drawn Thor.
You didn't realize how cool that would be?
Oh, no, I didn't. All right, so I've been loving Jason Aaron drawn on Thor since he started it. You were reading it at the beginning, weren't you?
Yeah, I've
With
read
the
most
three
of it.
different timelines. What they were doing, the three stories,
Yeah,
the future, the past, and the
Yeah,
I think I
present.
read
that was
even
cool.
some of those.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Scotty read some of those.
Well, this actually kind of ties into some of that. It carries it over, but so basically, we're building up to Thor is now a woman. It's
Jane Foster.
Jane Foster.
She's dying of cancer.
She's dying of cancer. She gets cancer treatments, but then every time that she turns into Thor, it erases all of her treatment, and she just gets sicker.
Yeah.
So they're building up to. They did the whole they did the whole renumbering legacy, so they go to 700 or whatever.
Yeah.
And I think they're doing like a 4 or 5 part. So like 704, 705. They're gonna do like the new Thor or whatever. I think Jane Foster will probably die, and Thor will take over being Thor again.
I have a question. Did they ever
Ooh, the death
say?
of the mighty Thor.
Did they ever say what they told Thor when the?
Yes.
Oh, you know the answer. So if I read up to this point, what issue is it?
I can't remember. I think it might be 700.
So if I read up to 700, I finally find out the answer to that. What
You'll
they
be very
disappointed?
disappointed. I don't even remember. It was something like you're not worthy or something. I mean, it was like
You're not worthy.
Like,
What?
Like I read
Oh.
it. Like I read it. And I was
Oh,
like,
look. The hammer's crushed.
Oh, they had to do it like the movie.
they
The death.
whatever.
It's in the preview.
Oh, that's true. I got to that point and I was just like, really? I'm like, that's what I've been waiting since whatever to get to.
Like 5 years.
Yeah. But okay, so you know how like when they do anniversary issues and they make them like double, triple sized.
Yeah,
And they're like $9 a piece, and it's all filler. It's
Yeah.
like you get like 20 pages of the story, and then it's like 15 backup 3-page stories that I have no interest in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very familiar with that.
700 of Thor.
It's all
is
James
the
Herron?
way you need it. No, it's all everybody, dude. There's so many artists in that thing, but that's the way you need to do an anniversary issue like that, because it's all one story, but it's going back and forth. It's jumping around, but it's all one coherent story. It's not like 20 pages of Thor and then you get like 6 backups with different artists. They intersperse it. Let me see 700 real quick. I just want to rattle off like some of the artists or whatever that are in it, because I don't even remember, but it is so good. Like, I read 700 and I'm like, this is how you do an anniversary issue. So it's got Russell Dodderman, which is he was doing most of the Thor run. Walter Simonson, Daniel Acuna, James Herron, Becky Cloonan, Chris Burnham, Jill Thompson, Olivier Coipel. Yeah, it's crazy. This thing is just packed, man. It's so good. Okay, so like, they even bring the Thor frog back. Throg.
Yeah.
The frog Thor comes back in 700.
Oh, yeah.
Well, he's on the back of the cover. But anyway, what makes it really cool is, okay, so, you know, they're doing that whole, was it Rocks On? You know, the big,
Rocks Off?
Yes, Rocks On, Rocks Off. The guy that was...
Oh, yeah, I remember the Rock something. That's stupid.
Well, he's still there and he's still
I
working.
hated that storyline.
He's still working with what's his name? Malekith.
Yeah.
And they're basically declared war on like all the 9 realms, like they're gonna take it over, and so like they go to like Muspelheim, the fire
Yeah.
kingdom.
It's one of
And
those kingdoms. Yeah.
that issue that they do, the fire kingdom, oh my god, the art is so good in it. It was before 700, but anyway, Volstagg is there because he's on like a council, they have like a senate or whatever, like a council, and Volstagg's on it, and they go to Muspelheim, and because Muspelheim, they came and they killed a bunch of like people.
Yeah.
And so Volstagg got really upset, and he ends up with the hammer from the Destroyer or whatever from the early issues, and he turns into Volstagg turns into the Thor of War.
Thor of War.
Thor of War, and he just goes on this tirade, just killing people, slaughtering people. It's crazy.
Sounds
But it was such a good story. And then, like I said, James Herron did a few of the pages in 700, and then he did the whole 701.
I think a few of the pages in 700?
Yeah, because 700 was broke up
It
into...
looks like it's a mixed match.
Yeah, it's a whole bunch of artists, but 701 is James Herron. And it's...
page Asgardian epic.
And 701 with James Herron is basically Volstagg as the Thor of War, fighting the Lady Thor.
Does Andrew McLean do part of that page?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, Andrew McLean's in there too. Which I'd never thought that I wanted to see an Andrew McLean Thor until I saw Andrew McLean do
I don't
Thor.
think he even did Thor. I think he just drew
Like James Herron. Yeah, he did was it a Frost Giant story or something?
Yeah, so like
But
one
it was
page.
really cool. They really
I don't like
matched
books where
up.
they change the art every page.
It's so good though. It's worth
It's
it.
distracting to me.
But
because I'm always
they
like, well, who
matched-
is that?
they
And
matched
I have to like
up.
look back if I can't do this. So I'm like, who is that?
They matched up really well. The
Okay.
artists that go with. You get a really good Kirby vibe from the James Herron stuff, man.
Yeah, I can see that.
But yeah, Thor is still killing it.
Still killing it.
Still good. And Jason Aaron does a little
I like Donovan.
yeah. Jason Aaron does like a little thing commentary in the back of 700, and he's like, "I love Thor. I've been on Thor forever." He's like, "I want to keep doing Thor." He's like, "Thor's my favorite hero," and blah,
That's
blah,
what
blah.
Bendis
So,
said. Then what did he do? He took off
he
from
went to
DC. Trader.
Trader. Yeah. Well, once they offer
A
a
bajillion
bajillion
dollars.
dollars,
That's
to
right.
Jason
You think
Aaron.
it was a bajillion?
Well, they got him off Star Wars.
I know.
He quit Star Wars, which I finished. I read up to the end of his run.
Well, might as well.
And
Here we go.
Gillen
Great lead-in.
took over, but dude, Star Wars is still really good. LaRocca he did the art on like almost this whole run that I read.
I don't like Salvador.
Let me see. He does this really weird thing.
You're not getting them
It's
back,
almost-
dude.
I
You're
want to
not
show
getting
you
them back.
the faces that he does in these issues.
Whoops.
It is so off-putting. Like, I don't know if it's like photocopied, but oh my, he does so
Remember when
good.
he was more like a stylized? Now he does all this photo reference.
Like, in each book he'll have like 1 or 2
Ooh.
panels where it's like he does it really good with Han Solo and Princess Leia, where it looks like them.
I don't like that.
I don't either, and it's so off-putting because everything else looks so. Well, this one doesn't have it. Where here?
Really?
Let's see a Han Solo. He captures Han Solo really well. Like that would probably be a good one, 31. But I'll probably.
Well, here.
But this is just cool. I mean, it's just the continuation. Well, not the continuation.
So are we still
but it's
between
in
New
between.
Hope and Empire?
Yeah,
How long are they going to go to 50 with that, and then switch to a different?
I don't know. But like, look at that.
Yes,
Like
it
that
looks just like Han
just
Solo.
like freaking Han
Yes.
Solo.
I see it.
And then there was a story in there where they did Lando. There was like a Lando story.
But see, that doesn't really look like Carrie Fisher.
There's some in there where it really does though.
Yeah, but
He
if you don't,
grabs
that's the problem with
everybody.
photo.
I know.
realism. If it's not perfect, it
And
looks stupid.
That's what throws me off. That's what throws me off in this book because I was sitting here reading it and I'm just like, okay, this one looks really good,
Tore your
and
bag.
then this one, dude, stop tearing my
Tore your
bags.
You didn't have these cheap bags.
Ridiculous.
Bag and board.
So like, bad.
Are we gonna just what about it? Is that good or bad? Because it looks bad to me.
I thought that captured Lando really well, but
I think that one.
does. Yeah.
This one up here, it just looks funky.
Yeah.
Like
But anyway,
it's going with that forehead there. That doesn't look like it.
I don't know. But anyway, Star Wars, it's good. So Jason Aaron's last issue, he wrote a story with his son. It was about a day in the life of the Sand People.
Yeah.
But it was really cool. I really liked it. And then I read an annual. That one was kind of cool. That's just Han Solo and Princess Leia, like, running
He
through
got
this
his buddy
cave.
Jason Latour to write it.
Yes.
Nice.
Jason Latour.
It's all about who
But
you
yeah,
know.
Star Wars is good. I only read like 1 or 2 issues with, 2 with Gillen. I really like the way Gillen's going.
I do like some of those covers though.
Yeah, the covers are really good. Well, some of them. Most of them.
Most of them.
But, yeah, it's cool. I really enjoyed, like, the first maybe 24, 25 issues more where they were doing, like, 6-issue arcs.
That
and they
one
would
is a
flip
little bit
artists.
awkward with
Yeah.
Lando.
But, I mean, like, they had a killer lineup, like Eminem and then
Cassidy.
John.
Cassidy. And, I mean,
it was good.
It was really good. It's still good. I'm still enjoying it. I really like, I read the
Stormtrooper with the lightsaber.
Yeah, that's the new, they're like I think they're called Scar. They're like the super elite.
Don't spoil it.
The super elite Stormtrooper squad or whatever. But
I do not even know who that is.
Gillen did the Darth Vader series.
Yeah.
It was like 25 issues.
Uh-huh.
And they have an annual.
And they introduced
The third.
They introduced
That chick, Dr. Afra.
Dr. Afra, which the only thing I read is the Star Wars, and then I bought the
That's her.
the Darth Vader.
Dr. Afra.
I think so. And then
I read the Darth Vaders.
Yeah, it's good.
I
But
don't like it.
No,
It's too talky.
I did. I love the evil C-3PO and R2-D2.
Yeah, you would.
They're hilarious. They're in it a little bit.
It's because you're evil. All right, let Scott do something.
All right.
Star Wars. Done with this?
Star Wars.
Star Wars. I can listen to you talk about Star Wars for hours.
There's a cool that one right there is
See?
like a R2-D2 solo mission.
That's
Where
sweet.
R2-D2 goes in and rescues. He's like getting on the comms and sending them everywhere, and they're like freaking out. They're like, "It's a little droid. How can we not find him?" And he's just like running around on this starship, like doing everything. It's
You would
weird.
think this would be something I would buy, but
It's actually pretty. You read the first one, didn't I?
I did read some of those ones. Yeah,
They're
I can't
good.
tell you anything about them. Either.
It's pretty good.
Yeah,
yeah. I remember they were bad, but I only read a couple of them.
I think the earlier stuff is probably stronger,
It always is.
but I'm still digging it. It's still
Cool.
good.
Okay,
So,
no, that's good. It's good.
all right.
All right, you guys want to do Six Gun? Or do you want to do Atomic Robo?
Oh,
Have you read
talk-
Atomic Robo before?
I didn't think so. I got this from a friend of mine at work,
Okay, so it's not mine.
so it's not yours.
That's
So
why I was confused. Like, I don't remember giving him Atomic.
So you didn't, but
At
I
least
think
not recently.
I think
I think
that
I
you
did
did,
before, yeah.
like back probably years ago,
Yes.
probably when you were doing the podcast the first time around.
Yes.
And I did not remember this. So at the time when he's like, "Hey, have you read Atomic Robo?" and I'm like, "I don't think so." And I'm thinking it looks kind of like Robot from Invincible
Yeah.
or something like that from the cover. And so I said, "Okay, I read it." And then I start reading it. I'm going, I think I've been here before.
Yes.
So it's a bit of a flashback, I guess, in a way. But
Flashback.
yeah.
Flash.
You know, Atomic Robo, though. Basically, he's a robot that was created by Nikola Tesla or whatever it is, Tesla.
I've never read Atomic Robo.
So it's a robot created by Tesla that was pretty
I'm
much
in.
there to save the world
I'm in now.
in different ways. So it's almost like to me, it's got almost a very Hellboy feel.
It does.
In a lot of
I get a
ways.
lot of Hellboy vibe. out of
Yeah.
it.
He's got his own nemesis that was back from the war, and things that this dude that keeps putting his brain in a freaking robot and keeps trying to take over the world and whatever the hell else. And meanwhile, Atomic Robo has made it through the years and now has his own little team of people that are kind of, I can't remember what they're called, but they're like a bunch of scientists that go out there and try to do what they can to save, keep catastrophes from happening. So,
I know there's a bunch of Atomic Robo stuff. They do like 6-issue series or whatever. Is this the very first?
This is
As
why it
far as
says
I know,
one
this is
on
the
the
first.
spine. See
Yeah.
that little one?
I didn't see the spine, sir.
yeah, but as far as I know, this is number one.
Okay.
So in it is a lot of flashbacks. So it's kind of like taking place in, I guess, around now or whatever, that type of things. And so it's him and his team that he has, and then it's flashing back to stuff that he knew in the war, or different friends that he had and things like that. And overall, he's pretty much indestructible. Although he does have to reboot from time to time. And the last arc is pretty much just him against his nemesis, type thing, who took over like a pyramid in Egypt and had it like moving or something towards the city. And
it sounds cool.
So, it is, and like I said,
sounds interesting.
The art is pretty good as well. I mean, it's got a very, I don't know,
Scott Wedgener.
Yeah, I was going to say Hellboy vibe, even though with it or something like that. I think that was part of the reason why the comparisons happen. But giant ants. That's always cool.
Right. You
So
go wrong with giant ants.
that's exactly right. So overall, I mean, it's a pretty good read. It's a fun one, I mean, the robot, Atomic Robo, he's the wisecracking type of thing, and whatnot. So a lot of little jokes here and there. I had some problems, I think, sometimes with just maybe sometimes it's just real disjointed, I think, in some cases. It just seems like he's jumping around so dang much that keeping up is a little bit of a problem. It's not huge, but I just found sometimes, I go, well, how the hell did they get here? Or something like this, It's not that big of a deal, but it's just like you have to reorient yourself there for a second and go, okay, the big scheme of things, it really doesn't matter, but it just kind of takes you away there for that second, though, too. But the writing's good. Art's pretty good.
It gets better because they got like probably 8 or 9.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's like a lot of.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Robo.
Yeah.
So it's a good book.
Yep.
Cool.
What you got?
All right, this is where the podcast takes a turn. We're gonna go into the adult material now.
You want to do that
Great,
now,
now
or
my
you want to
wife
wait
is
till
watching.
the end, or whatever?
No, my wife is watching. I'm just kidding.
All right,
So
let's
that's
do
fine.
some other
What do you
stuff.
got? What's plastic?
Plastic. This thing was awesome. It's so good. It was like just so off the wall, crazy.
Is it
out there.
Image?
Yeah,
I don't see the big eye.
on the back.
Yeah, they're trying to probably. This is
It's down there.
So.
Oh.
There you go.
Okay. So, all right.
That's gross.
Yeah, I got a lot of the head covers.
Apparently.
Yeah. All right. So
What were they, special covers or something?
they had 2 covers, so I went to the decapitated head cover on most of them.
For
some
all of them,
reason,
number 3.
For some reason, on number 3, I got a different one. I don't know why, but all right.
That just
So-
takes me away immediately. It's just like
Plastic. Like I have nothing. I had no idea what it was. I don't read solicitations. I saw the decapitated head, and I'm like, "This ought to be
I'm in.
cool." So I'm in. So bought it. All right, this thing is crazy wacky. So it starts out. There's this guy. I don't remember his name. The main character, and he's in a parked car, and he's talking, and you see the car squeaking or whatever, and he's like, "Oh, I love you," and they're like, "Okay, we'll stop at this convenience store. I gotta run in and buy some things." And so he goes in. He's in there buying some stuff. He comes out. There's 3 dudes hanging out in the car, hitting on his girl. Well, the reason the series is called Plastic is because his girlfriend is a plastic blow-up doll
Oh.
that he thinks is real and
So
treats
why
her
are the
real.
guys hitting on her?
They're jerking around, like playing, like, "Oh, you look really nice," this and that. Well, this guy really, like, it turns out later on that he used to be like a secret op, CIA, whatever kind of guy, and I don't know if he just kind of like lost all touch with reality and he really thinks this is real woman, or like he wants to think that it's a real. But anyway, he takes his doll very seriously, and you do not
screw
you
with
do
him
not
and his
screw
doll.
with his doll whatsoever. So like the dude like touches his doll. Well, anyway, he ends up beating the holy crap out of like these 3 dudes, and then I think he kills like 1 or 2 of them, dries off, and well, it turns out that one of the kids that was messing with his doll is like the son of a big mob guy or whatever, and so he
Of course.
finds out. So the mob guy's out for revenge. I want this guy. He runs the town. He runs the sheriffs. So anyway, they end up kidnapping him and his girlfriend,
His
doll. And so then he goes on a rampage to kill everybody and rescue back his girlfriend doll. And he ends up picking up this hitchhiker girl like on the way or whatever, and she actually kind of like, she didn't have any direction or anywhere to go. And this guy's going around like killing people, like blowing up houses and killing people. And he's like, yeah, you should really not be with me. She's like, no, I think I'll hang out with you. He's like, I ain't got nothing else better to do. And so he kind of takes her under his wing. It's kind of almost like the professional or whatever. And then it has at the very end of it, I mean, it's like, I think the doll gets killed and he like cries and I don't know. But it's a cool like twist. I mean, it's, if you like.
So you think the elevator pitch was like,
gory.
It's John Wick, but instead of a dog, it's a blow up doll.
It's a blow up doll.
And instead of being sane, he's like crazy
wacko. Crazy whacked out. So basically, his thing is he decapitates people.
I can't imagine.
That's what he decapitates people and then throws their head in a Ziploc bag.
Okay. I thought the plastic was the Ziploc bag, but it's more like the plastic is his blow up doll.
No. And so there's actually a part where like one of the guys, so when they capture him, they have the doll tied up like in a warehouse room or whatever, you know. And
they tied up the doll.
Yeah, they hang the doll up, and the two of the guys are like hitting her. Oh, look at her! It's like, look at her legs. He's like, and messing it, and so it really pisses him off. So he really has a hard on for these guys because they touched his doll. And so anyway, he goes to the guy's house to like take him out, and he ends up with there's a sheriff, and the sheriff gets killed, but he doesn't get killed. Like the bullet goes through his head, but he's in the car. So he's driving around in this car with a dead sheriff with a bullet through his head, like a hole through his head where the bullet went through, who's dead, obviously. So like he spends half of the series driving around in this car with this dead sheriff officer, like riding shotgun. I mean, it's, if you're into like blood and gore and, you know, revenge, it's a good series. But it's pretty crazy. It's pretty wacky. It's pretty out there. But I did enjoy it. But I'm, you know. It's not your X-Men or your Thor or your Superman or your Batman. But and the art's decent. The art's good. I liked it. That was a good series. You should take it home and read it, Scott.
Oh yeah.
And tell me what you think. I mean, it's almost like comedic at points. You know what I mean? It's supposed to be that way. But
I would hope so.
But yeah, I enjoyed Plastic.
Cool.
I recommend it.
You recommend it
to everyone.
Best thing you read this year.
Best thing I read this year.
Great for your kids.
No, that would be, well, I read a couple really good. I read a lot of really good stuff.
A lot of really good
But
stuff.
I read The Four Norsemen of the Apocalypse by Matthew Sturgis and our good friend John Lucas. So I was at AirCap and John Lucas was there. And so I was looking through his portfolio on his table, and he had these pages, and I'm like, dude, I've never seen this. What is this? And he's like, oh, this is this book I did for First. It's called The Four Norsemen of the Apocalypse. I actually bought a couple of pages from him, from the book, at the show. And then I was like, he didn't have any of the books.
Yeah, he never has the books.
Yeah. And he's like, so
last time at like Kansas City, and I'm like, do you have the book? He's like, no, I don't have any.
The Four Norsemen?
Well, yeah.
Oh. I didn't even know about it. I didn't even know the thing came out, that it even existed. So I was like looking through it, and I asked him.
I think he was pushing it on like his social media.
Oh,
I saw him at a con. I'm
I
like,
don't remember.
do you have the book? He's like, no.
No.
He's like, you can order it though.
Yeah, off Amazon.
So I bought this off Amazon. It was funny because like when I got it in the mail, I took a picture of it and I sent him a message, and I'm like, hey, look what I got in the mail. I'm like, I can't wait to read it. And he's like, did you buy it from First? And I'm like, because he was telling me at the convention, he's like, you can probably get it from First, you know. And I'm like, okay. And so then I went on Amazon and they had it, and I ended up I bought a Christmas present for one of my kids, and to get the free shipping, I had to kick in another whatever. So yeah. I picked that up. But I mean, I was going to get it anyway. But it's really good. It's long. It's a lot. I'm like, because after I read it, I messaged it. It's a good long, but I mean, it's a lot of story, a lot of pages. And so after I read it, I messaged him, and I'm like, how long did you work on that thing? And he's like, yeah, I've been working on it forever. Like, in between when I would do books for Marvel or whatever, I'd work on this on the side and all this other stuff. But it's really good. So basically, it's about the main character. I can't remember his name exactly, but he's like a fighter pilot and he's over in like Afghanistan.
Yeah.
And he's a player, total player. Like, he uses his story like Top Gun. He like uses his story. He's like, I'm going to Afghanistan tomorrow, and I don't know if I'll ever make it out alive. And so he just like sleeps with like woman after woman after woman after woman. And so he goes over to Afghanistan, and he's flying an airplane, and they end up getting shot down, and they crash and they die. Well, it turns out that he is a direct descendant, like a Norseman or whatever. And so he ends up going to Valhalla, I think. But
Or Ragnarok.
this is like the introduction is by the Fables guy,
Bill
Willingham. And he talks about how, like, when he grew up and he was a kid, like, he loved reading about, like, Norse mythology, Thor and Odin and everything. But in Norse mythology, they never had, like, a happy ending. Like, everything ended horribly. And it all leads to Ragnarok. Like, at the end, you know, Ragnarok happens, the big serpent comes and kills everything, and that's just it. Like, there's nothing. And so, basically, when he dies, he goes to Valhalla, and he hooks up with these other 3 Norsemen guys, and they basically, every day they fight a battle, they get attacked by the other people, and they die. And then they come back to life. They just do that over and over, and then they drink beer or mead, and then have food and whatever, but they just keep dying. Like that, they're training for Ragnarok. They're training for the final battle by getting killed every day and then coming back to life or whatever. And so anyway, he hooks up with these other 3 guys, and then they find out that like there's like 4 gods. I can't remember which ones they are, but they're like plotting against. They're gonna like do Ragnarok, but then they found a way to like reshape the world the way they want to reshape it or whatever. And so they're basically just, he gets the main character, I think it's Felix, but anyway, he I lost my train of thought. He finds out the loophole, or he finds out what's going on, and he makes enemies with like the leader of the people that attack them every time, and it kind of makes them come after them, so they're kind of on the run from this guy, and it's good. There we go. But the art is insane. I love John Lucas art, and if you like John Lucas, I mean, it's really good. It does have some. It's not graphic, but there
is.
Not really. I mean, there's some nudity in here. He does these 3 little flashback stories where they go back and tell the backstories of like the other people that are with him. And they do this kind of weird, where they go, like this older, like colored newsprint page or whatever. And those stories are pretty funny. I mean, it's really a pretty funny book. I mean, it's pretty comical. But the art is really good. I would highly recommend it. It was published by First. I guess it came out like last year. I didn't ever remember even seeing it in the previews.
It came out the year before.
And then there's like this whole like, they go to this bar, and it's basically a rip-off of Cheers. So they have and it's like this bar in the middle of nowhere. Oh, the whole story is narrated by God. So God narrates the whole story. And they have Sam there, and he sends him on this mission for him. Well, they give him this van, and it looks like the Scooby.
They're on a mission from God.
They're on a mission. They are on a mission from God in like a Scooby van, like the, what do they call that? The Mystery Machine.
Yep.
It's kind of like a takeoff of the Mystery Machine, yeah. So they end up going on like this side mission for Sam, the bartender guy. Which, spoiler alert, at the end of the book, I believe. Don't spoil it. Okay, but. No, it's really good. It has some nudity in it, obviously, but it's nothing really graphic. I mean, there's some decapitations. There's some blood in it.
Nothing really graphic.
It's nothing compared to plastic. This really is. It's a funny.
It's all ages.
It's all ages.
It's an all ages book.
It's all ages.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just double page of boobs.
Woohoo!
But yeah,
Well,
it's
hey,
all.
you can't go wrong with that.
It's all ages. It's really just boobs. Well, there's some wang in it, but you gotta have a little bit of that, I guess. But no, I really liked it. It's only like cover of 20. I think I picked it up on Amazon for like 15. So if you're a fan of John Lucas or Matthew Sturgis or kind of fables or Norse mythology, this is really good.
Cool.
So, do you want to borrow it and read it? Why not?
I don't have time.
You have plenty
What?
of time.
I can't.
You said you wanted to read it. You've been
I
asking.
do. I'll
for it.
eventually get it, but
You can read it for free.
Eventually, you'll get.
You
that.
can read it
You
free
can,
right
that's
here.
right.
Read it for free.
I cannot believe you've gotten through so as much as you
why
have.
did you
though.
read so much crap?
Yes,
You need to you need to space it out. Like some weeks you come, you've read nothing.
I know.
This
Next
week,
week,
like
I'll,
two.
next week I'll have.
so why
nothing.
don't you save some? Like store them up.
I don't want to because it's all so
Because
good.
then he'll forget about it.
I read the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Usagi Yojimbo
Yes.
crossover.
Mm-hmm.
That was good.
It was good.
It was a short little story. It was cool. It was like
She paid for this hardcover.
it was like 15.
Jeez.
What'd you pay for the soft cover?
Like 6.
Well, the hardcover's worth it. But now they're coming out with another version of it. Like you were
Okay.
talking earlier, it's like a hardcover with like extra stuff in it.
Really?
Of course, the special
Yeah,
edition.
That's
Special
kind of
edition.
jerky.
Yeah, I know. I kind of felt ripped off.
I would. Jeez.
But do you remember anything about it?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's just a simple.
Yeah, it's a simple
Yojimbo.
little.
I mean, there's not like there's a deep story there.
Well, there is. I mean, they're having these earthquakes because the Earth
Yeah.
is a giant turtle.
Yeah, I know.
Moving
I'm
around.
just saying it's not like it's some kind of overarching.
But no,
concept.
it's cool. It's Stan Sakai at his
It doesn't
best.
even
I
look
mean,
like there's much there.
I-
It looked like the afterward happens like
I
halfway
can't
through.
imagine. Like I
It's
love,
like a single issue.
I love when I see Usagi in color.
Yeah, that's fun.
I wish he. I mean, yeah, it's so good when it's colored. And he draws the turtles really well. There's also in the back of this, you probably didn't get it, but it reprints the original
Yeah, I get
meeting of
the turtles.
the
and
turtles
Usagi.
and Usagi from
Cool.
back in the day, and you can really see how his art has changed quite a bit. I mean, I still love his art from back then, but it's
Yeah.
really evolved. I know, like Usagi, it seems more chunky. It's
Yeah.
more like in the face. It's more round, and now he's more
Maybe he slimmed down, lost some
thin.
weight.
I think he did.
Yep, I think so.
But no, it was good. I mean, I was gonna say it's like Stan Sakai always kind of does like your lore, your Japanese lore, or whatever.
Uh-huh.
He ties all that stuff into it, and this is really tied into
Yeah.
it. Like I read the afterword or whatever, and I mean they actually like they have like what do you call it? They're not churches over there. What are they called? Like
Shrines.
shrines that believe that the giant fish or whatever lives under the ground, and
Yeah.
you know, it's kind of cool. I always like reading, like even in his single issues, like his back page, because he really does a lot of, you know, this is based on this legend or this is based on that legend, and
Sure.
it's really cool. You can learn and have fun at the same time.
Wow, that's so exciting.
But no, I really liked it. It was good, but it's Stan Sakai.
Dan Sakai.
I read.
Is that mine? Or is it yours?
No, I just got this.
Alright, I thought I was going to loan it to you.
No, I bought it because I thought I would get it in time for AirCap,
Yeah.
and I got it last week.
Saber
So it didn't make it in time.
Swordsman.
Gosh, so good.
You liked it? I
Yes.
thought you might.
I really love his art. It is like so good in this. The only okay, so like in the back of that, they have like some of the short stories
That are in color.
that are in color.
And you so much wish the whole thing was in
Oh
color.
my god, I wish the whole thing was in color.
Yeah.
He has so much going on.
It'd be nice to have the
Art.
color to delineate it a little
Yeah,
bit.
it's like I get lost.
I mean,
in
there's
of
some
that stuff.
grayscale, but even that.
Because it's like I'm reading it and you can follow it. Like it's a cool story. It's not hard to follow. But I bought that print.
Oh, did you? That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when it's in color, it really
Yeah.
There's so much going on. It's so easier to follow the story when it's in color.
Yeah.
But it's really good. Have you read Sabretooth Swordsman?
I have not.
so,
Boy.
so this is set like in, I don't know what, the Middle East
I
somewhere.
have no idea.
And so there's this
mayhem
guy.
of the
Yeah, the Macedonian mathematician or something.
The malevolent mastodon mathematician.
Yeah. All right, so it's set like over, I would say like somewhere in the Middle East. It's kind of like a Arabian Nights kind of thing or whatever. But there's this guy, and he's kind of a wimp, and his girlfriend, he gets beat up, and he's like, I'm tired of getting beat up. It's almost like one of those old like comic ads where they kick the sand in their face. Like, do you want to stop getting sand kicked in your face and be the... So anyway, he ends up getting transported to, like, there's this cloud. There's, like, cloud god or whatever. And he transforms him. Yeah, that's good, too. He transforms him into... It's very adult, though. He transforms him into, like, a bunch of different things, animals, and he ends up with the saber-toothed tiger. And he's got a sword, and now he has, like, he's a kick-ass, like, saber-toothed tiger swordsman guy or
Travel
whatever.
to exotic Sasquatch mountain.
And,
Fabulous power could be yours.
yeah. It's
To crusade for truth, beauty, justice, whatever.
And so there's this, what do you, like a convoy, or what do you call them back in the day when they would have a bunch of elephants and stuff that would just travel together from like city to city? Not a convoy, but like a... Anyway.
Drew's the well-read person of us all, so he would probably know.
Anyway,
Caravan?
a caravan.
There you go.
And so, like, there's this Macedonian mathematician guy or whatever, and he kidnaps his girlfriend. And so he's basically trying to track this guy down to rescue his girlfriend. And he encounters all kinds of different, like, creatures and kidnaps, and it's just an adventure or whatever. And he gets to the end or whatever, and he meets up with the Macedonian mathematician. And he's actually, like, capturing all these people, and he's running, like, experiments on them or whatever. And then I was talking to Drew because at the back of it,
It is so much better than the rest because it's in color.
yeah, well, they reprinted some other...
Nothing wrong with the black and white, you know.
No,
I mean,
there isn't.
it's-
His art
there's
is so
a-
good, but
yeah,
he's got so
a lot
much
of
going
detail.
on in it. In
Yeah.
some places, it's hard. Drew used to really get, like, delineate.
Sometimes, but I just found some of the stuff that's back here in color, though, just pops off the page,
Oh, yeah.
though, too.
Oh, yeah, it's so good.
So,
And then, of course,
pretty good.
Matt Allison did a few pinups in there. I think he did some stuff in it. I really liked the ogres, or the Cyclops.
Yeah.
Cyclops Guardians or whatever. But no, Saber-Tooth Swordsman is so good. We had
Aaron Conley.
Aaron Conley at AirCap, and he sold out of those.
Did you really?
Yeah. I think he said he only brought like maybe 10 or 20, but he sold out of the books.
That's cool.
But yeah, so good. I ordered that before AirCap. I thought I was going to get it
Yeah.
ahead of time before the show, and I ended up not getting it. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's really good. You should check it out. Is he going to do more? I hope. I don't know.
I think so. I think the problem is it doesn't really pay as well as like the
Right.
Work for Hire. So
Yeah,
I
I'm
think-
sure it doesn't. But
Buster Moody said he had to take like a year off to draw this book because there's so much detail.
Yeah,
So it took
he
him-
really-
I believe that.
he gives me
forever.
kind of like almost an anime, but he kind of gives me a Stoko.
Yeah,
Like I get a Stoko vibe a little bit.
See a little Buster Moody in there too.
Yeah, a little
actually.
Buster, a little Stoko. But I mean, obviously, it's his own kind of style.
Yeah,
but,
definitely.
and I mean, Stoko is just kind of that, really
Kind of
hyper
crazy, hyper
detailed
details. Yeah.
anime, not anime, but manga kind of ish.
Yeah,
I guess,
it's
but
it.
really good. There's parts in there where, because he's a saber-toothed tiger and he
Yeah.
crunches the heads and stuff. But yeah, there's a lot of really cool, and it's just kind of like an old school, kind of like I said, like an Arabian Nights kind of
Yeah.
adventure tale. But yeah, it's really good.
Cool.
Really enjoyed Sabretooth. Save a few swordsmen.
Cool. I think the only thing I have left. I'll just do it real
I'm
quick.
almost done. I have that, and then we can do the six. Whatever.
How about Rocket Comics? Another bound book. So Dark Horse back in, I don't know, early 2000s, late 90s, did this imprint called Rocket Comics. It was kind of like supposed to be a science fiction type thing, and they did a few different series. It wasn't very successful. It only like
Isn't
had
that Image?
Focus. Let me tell the
Focus.
story.
Okay.
All right, they did Rocket Comics. Yeah, none of the series lasted more than like 4 or 5 issues. It seemed like, or maybe 6, and so it didn't really take off. I liked the concepts of most of them. That was pretty good. One of the series was called Fuse, which was by Steve Niles. He had a bunch of different artists, but originally it came out through Image, which is why Don said, "Isn't that Image?" And then it was continued in Rocket Comics, so they picked that up from Image and started publishing it. Fused was kind of cool. It's Steve Niles who did 30 Days a Night. That was kind of his claim to fame. But it's about this guy. He's like working with robotics, and it's kind of like an Iron Man type story. It's like Iron Man meets Iron Giant. He gets fused in this armor or this exoskeleton, and it's like it starts like eating his body. Like it starts like spitting out like his body parts. So there's like none of him left except like the brain. You know.
Wow.
It's kind of at one point he like throws up and all his like body parts come out, and he's like, so I guess I'm not getting on the suit at this point. But he's got like a wife who's like really, so it's kind of got like that human angle, like what happens if you get stuck in a suit of armor and you're a robot and you have a wife. You know, of course.
What does happen?
Your wife leaves you, apparently,
wondered.
because his wife is not too happy about it. And so he works for the government and gets obviously caught up in some government conspiracies and different government agencies fighting. You know, it's your typical kind of stuff. But it was entertaining. It was good. And then the next series is called Galactic. And this is Jim Kruger is the writer, and Sanford Green
Ooh.
does the art. And Sanford Green's really good.
Jim Kruger, he did the Universe X, Marvel X, or whatever.
Yeah, sure.
With Alan, who's the big painter guy? Alex Ross.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm talking
Oh,
about?
yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, Earth X.
Earth X.
Yeah.
That was Kruger.
Yeah, that's Kruger. But anyway, he did this story. It's only 3 issues, but it's got Sanford Green art, which is really cool. He's got he does a lot of stuff for Marvel now, so he's kind of big time now.
Wow.
But this was one of some of his early stuff. But the idea is there's this kid on Earth. He's kind of like from the hood, you know. And his brother like got involved in drugs and blah blah blah. Anyway, he gets captured by aliens. You know, has nothing to do with the hood or anything. And apparently, the aliens go around and they're trying to purge planets of evil, to kind of purge the universe of evil. If they find out that the planet can't be purged, they have to destroy the planet. So they're like this galactic task force that goes around purging evil and destroying planets. It's only 3 issues, so not much really happens because one of them's set up or whatever, you know. And the next series is called Lone, which is really cool. This is by Stuart Moore and Jerome Opena, some early Opena.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's pretty good. It's basically it's like a future, but it's like a Western. And like zombies have kind of like taken over the world, and it's kind of post-apocalyptic.
So it's like East of West meets Walking Dead.
Yeah, kind of like that, yeah. Anyway, there's these people in this town, and zombies are taking over the town, so their mom's like, you gotta get out of town, you gotta go find this guy called Lone to come back and kill all these zombies. And so they go on this journey to find Lone, they recruit him, they convince him to come back and save their town. You know, it's fairly straightforward. There's like a little twist with his history and how it ties into the apocalypse, you know, because Lone was somehow there when it became the apocalypse and how it all happened.
Because he's really deaf.
Yeah, and it all ties into like what's going on in the town too. So it all kind of ties together a little bit. So it's a little more complicated than just a simple, hey, get this man from stranger with no name comes in and saves the town. There's a little more going on than
Is
that.
that published by Dark Horse?
Yeah, it's Dark Horse. These are all Dark Horse, the Rocket Comics imprint. Yeah, so it's pretty good. It's 6 issues. It was really weird. So I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going along. It's Stromo.
I've never even heard of the Rocket imprint.
I'm sorry. It didn't last more than probably less than a year. Anyway, so I'm going along, and then I get to issue 5, and it's got Ponticelli, the guy who did that Frankenstein book for DC back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, so he does like this filler issue. It's like not even part of the main story. It's like this side story that they're telling or whatever. I'm like, okay, that's weird as an issue 5. Apparently Opena couldn't keep up, and so they did this filler issue. What's really weird is that when you get back...
canceled right after.
what's really weird. Okay, so 4 ends on at a certain point, and then you start on 6. It almost feels like
Hold on, wait. 4 ends at a certain point?
yeah, and then we have that filler issue, and then we start on 6. It almost feels like we missed an issue. Like what happens next? It's like there could have been some filler in there. It's like they drew 5, but they decided not to use it, but yet they kept this. They missed this. I don't know. Like you didn't miss much, but it just felt like it kind of jumped in time.
Well, they missed an issue of the story because they had to do a filler issue. So
I guess
they
the
had
story.
to cram
I guess the
everything
story
in.
kept going while they were missing. I don't know.
Well, they're
It was
taking
very,
this little
it was very strange.
Meanwhile, that's it.
Yeah, exactly. It's like they had to cram it all in the last issue because they did a filler for 5. I'm like, I don't know. It's like they should have just skipped it and just done 5 issues. I don't know.
We need an extra issue, man.
And then this series
the
looked
X-Files happened.
really cool. It's called Sin. It's written by Keith Giffen. The artist is some Titus guy. I never heard of him. Greg Titus, I think it is. Art's really cool. Man, this story goes nowhere. It's like about this artificial intelligence in this like futuristic world, and all the humans are gone.
Doesn't look like there was much writing there.
No, there's not much writing
Yeah.
either. And so somehow she gives herself like a human body and transfers her robot consciousness into a human body. And then it goes really off.
She's got Wolverine claws.
Yeah, it just goes really weird. It doesn't really make any sense. It doesn't really go anywhere.
She got a target on her
And then, of
body.
course, the last issue, they have a different artist, which totally changes the aesthetic of the whole series.
And they missed. Like they had a filler issue.
No,
Yeah.
there's no filler.
I can't believe that
So that one
that
kind of...
imprint went away.
Yeah, that one kind of went off the rails. But the other 3, Fused, Lone, and Galactic, were all really solid. So, I mean, I could have seen them going into other things. Sin was a bit of a letdown.
So I'm always interested. So
So I didn't read the stuff before I bound it.
okay, that's what I was gonna ask you.
Just to be clear. I just said, hey, all these series look cool. I like a lot of the creators. I like this Rocket imprint. I'm going to collect all these series. I'm going to bind them all in a book. And so that's what I did. And then I read it.
What'd you put on the spine?
Because
Rocket
you are
Comics?
made
Rocket
of
Comics.
That was the name of the
money.
imprint.
Because you're made of money.
I made it. No, why?
Yes.
Why am I making money?
Throw $45 down on a hard.
It did not cost $45 to have this bound. It was like $22.
$22 to have that thing bound. I hadn't even read it yet.
Cool.
But I'm going to read them. I just would rather read them as a book. And
Yeah.
then I don't have to bag and board them. I save money on bags and boards.
That's right.
Almost $20 worth.
Yeah, because you tear the crap out of them. All right, so I want to mention this because this was given to me at Aired Capital Comic Con by Mr. Steve Ellis, who's a really nice guy, really cool guy,
Really good artist.
really good
Yes.
artist.
I would
So,
agree.
did
I love
he
how
say this was
oversized
like-
it is.
Yeah.
It was a Kickstarter.
It was a Kickstarter. Okay, because it was called Monsterwood Book 1 Arrival. So apparently there were plans to have more.
There might still be.
There might still be. Okay, cool. So basically, the beginning of the book it's kind of like I almost got like an Aladdin vibe. It's like there's these people and they live in this kingdom and they're like ruffians, vagabonds, whatever, and they end up. Do they steal something? They get chased by the city guard or whatever, like all over town. I can't remember. They do
It's been a while
something-
since I read it.
They do
didn't
something-
talk about it, and then that's the reason. Cause I
They
couldn't
do
think
something to
back
get in trouble, and they get chased by the king and the queen end up. The queen is pregnant. The king and the queen they get invaded. The king goes out. The queen follows them. The king and the queen both die. After she has the baby escapes. Like their handmaiden or their butler or whatever you want to call it.
And
like-
Jafar takes over the kingdom.
and Jafar takes over the kingdom.
Oh wait, that's a lie. Never mind.
Yes. So anyway, they die and they run off with the baby. Well, the big bad the mage guy, or
Jafar.
whatever, the Jafar guy, the king's council has taken over the kingdom, and he has like a princess that he says is like 16 or 17. It's like 16 years later.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if that's the real baby. I think they're just using her as a ploy to like run the kingdom, because I think the real baby is the
boy.
who gets in trouble.
Yeah.
So anyway, they get in trouble. They go back to his house. The Kingsman or whatever, someone identifies him, so they show up at their house, and so he goes on the run. And at the end of this book ends up with him making it to Monsterwood, which he opens the door and he's like, "Oh, I'm in Monsterwood," which is where he was trying to get to, I guess, to escape or whatever.
Yeah,
So
and then
it's all set up but it's cool. Like I said, the art's cool. It's oversized. It's a really cool book. I mean,
Yeah.
it's an interesting story. I would love to
See how it is.
see more of it. But,
Yeah.
But no, it was good.
Cool.
I enjoyed it.
Alright, you doing Six Gun now?
No, I'm doing night.
No, just Six Gun first.
I'm doing night business. Oh, you want to do Six Gun? Okay. Take it away, Scott.
What am I supposed to say?
That
It's
book's
heavy.
Big.
It's Six Gun, Volume 3, so it's
Yeah,
another
I remember
like
Volume
12 issues.
yeah, another year's worth of issues and things. Basically, it's 2 stories: Winter Wolves and what was the other one called? It's something about ghosts of something or other.
Yeah,
I think.
I remember the winter story better.
Do you?
Wendigo.
Yes, Wendigo.
I was waiting for Wolverine to show up.
Were you? So basically, in this one,
Oh, sorry.
Go.
I don't remember the name of it, but that's the one where she's in that other world or whatever.
and it's right there. Ghost Dance.
Ghost Dance.
So, but essentially, at the end of book 2, she, our heroine, escaped with Sinclair, who has four of the 6 guns, and she has the
one.
6th gun. Yes,
No,
and
she has one, and then
well, she has one of the guns, but I thought it was number 6, isn't it? Or she got number 1? Oh, well,
I
anyway.
thought the other lady, the human,
And then the
has
old
the
la-
6th gun.
yeah, I was gonna say the other old lady's got.
Because she has the one that you can't die.
Yeah, she has the one that keeps you alive forever. But anyway, so essentially 5 of the 6 guns are with our heroes, I guess, and one of the guns is with the wife of the guy who died like way back in
General
the first.
Hume.
Yeah, that's right. Who died in the first.
Something
round.
Hume.
So,
Her last name is Hume.
yeah. Anyway, in this one, they basically are traveling because they want to try to get to a place where they can try to get some answers and try to start working towards getting the 6th gun.
Right.
And on their way there, they encounter a little shaman, and they go, "Uh-oh, this isn't good," and they get spirited away to some type of like alternate reality, I guess.
Where it's really cold and
yeah.
the Wendigo lives.
Where it's cold, people are freezing, they're running out of food, and this is basically just
I love the intro.
oh yeah, the intro's great, but it's really just the Sinclair and the girl. What the hell is her name now? Jeez, I can't even think. But anyway,
Alice.
is that it? Okay.
No, it's
I
not
didn't
Alice.
think so.
It's
But
Daphne.
doesn't sound right either. But I think wrong series there. But anyway, they're stuck there, and meanwhile
Becky.
the other
Becky.
meanwhile our one guy who was part of the crew at one point in time knows a little magic. He hooks up with the pretty boy and the zombie guy who can't die.
The mummy.
Yes, there you go. The mummy, Asher. So those 3 are looking for Sinclair and Becky and
Drake.
yep, Drake Sinclair.
Drake Sinclair.
Drake Sinclair.
Drake Sinclair.
Yep. So they're looking for him, and then they realize essentially that, oh crap, they're in some different areas. So they're kind of trying to save him. But it's an interesting story. I mean, because of the fact that you got great art, everything else, the whole thing with a little Wendigo and kind of a twist there of trying to figure out how to kill him and get back.
Is
it was a little tense.
The first story is the one with where he goes back. The one guy goes back to the house and meets up with his wife and his kids. Who are dead.
That happened in book 2.
Book 2? Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So
Didn't mean to jump ahead.
No. You went backwards. So, but
Huh?
You said book 2. This is
book 2. This is book 3.
So you jump backwards?
Oh, that
You
was in
jump
book
ahead?
2?
It was in
I
book
thought that
2.
was in this one.
I don't think so. But,
So you jump backwards.
Are you sure?
I don't know anymore.
You're probably right.
It all blurs together.
You're probably right. Yeah, we have been reading it really fast.
We've been reading it really fast, and yes, it did
I
happen
love
in
how
the previous one.
Brian Hurt draws the Indian guy.
Oh, he looks so cool.
So
And
badass.
the art in general is just so
yeah.
fantastic.
I
You know,
really like the second book because
the second half of this one,
Yeah,
the Ghost
the
Dance.
second
Well, the Ghost Dance one is really where our heroine there, Becky. She's trying to use her gun to try to figure out then where the last gun's at, and Hume there, and and basically trying to scare her. In which I thought was great, what she does.
So awesome when she shows up.
She shows up, as this little apparition to scare the old lady, and the old lady's like, don't worry about it, she can't harm us. And all of a sudden, the freaking gun starts going, bullets are flying. To this one guy who's like, the shaman of the old lady's group is like, I'm going to conjure up some stuff, and the next thing you know, his head's gone. Yeah. It's just, it's great. But anyway, that pretty much takes a lot out of her. And so they have to go to all these other Indians, this Indian tribe, to try to help our heroine there, Becky. And so, of course, she has to go through the spirit world. Of course, at the same time they're doing that, the bad guys are trying to take out Becky in the spirit world by sending their own, army in there. And so, of course, her spirit animal is like a flipping, I don't know, a goose or something, and it gets killed. Mm-hmm. So much for her guide,
Yeah, her guide's gone.
So some of that stuff that goes through, but
I really liked the issue where she shows up and General Hume is there.
Just look at this. I mean, some of this is like some of my favorite in there. I mean, holy crap! The rain. You got her dead center. Just kind of freaking looking, pretty ominous with the rest of the crowd in the background. It's just great. But what were you going to say?
I was going to say my favorite issue in probably the whole book is the one where she's in that spirit world and she's with General Hume is back and his wife, and they're having dinner and they've had like an alternate reality kind of thing where he won. I just thought that was so cool. The way that...
I mean, that spread there too. I agree with you. I thought that was just freaking great.
Yeah, I love that.
She picks up that gun and just is like, yep, that's okay. And he's like, what the hell?
He's got the gun laying on the table, and she's like, well, it's right there. And he's like, but she can't touch it.
Touch it, that's right.
She picks it up.
And she picks it up, and he's like, what?
The window shatters, and General Hume is like, dead. Yeah. And I'm like, did they shoot him? It's a whole freaking spear.
Oh, yeah.
Like, how far did they throw that thing through the window and then stabbed him? I'm like, you can't throw a spear like that.
Well, I thought that was great too, because then she's, she has that gun in the spirit world, and all of a sudden, all those freaking, what were they, Indians or shamans or whatever the hell that they were for the bad team, they start dying, one of them starts melting and everything else, and they're like, I thought you said they couldn't get hurt, or whatever. Yeah. It's like,
Yeah, I got really good. Well, and then the whole twist at
the end, yeah.
So the
now,
mother-in-law.
Okay, who is the dude with the red hair or whatever the heck? What do you want to say? The mother-in-law or whatever you want to call her. She has her own champion here. Who the hell is this guy? Because I think he must have been from the earlier ones.
Yeah,
I don't remember him. So a big spoiler on that page.
Yeah, spoiler on that page.
But this guy, who the heck is he?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because they make a big splash of it, like dun dun dun, like we should know him. But I unfortunately don't know.
No, I don't remember.
Don't remember who he was.
But the art is so good in this book.
It really is. It really is.
And the intro was. I wanted to mention the intro because the intro was
Chris Schweitzer.
Yeah, and he does the Krogan books.
Yeah.
But he did like an illustrated
intro.
Yeah.
It was like one of the few intros I actually read.
Did you see the
movie poster?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Is that where you got the idea?
No.
I wonder how much that cost, because they actually had Bill Crabtree color it too.
It can't have been cheap.
That thing's pretty badass awesome though.
Yeah.
I really do like the Six Gun though, and it's almost disappointing because I really wrote this one off after reading the first 12.
Oh, yeah.
In a lot of ways, and then when you let me borrow the second book, I was like, oh, this is actually pretty good. And I honestly think part of my problem is Drake Sinclair, because he's pretty front and center in a lot of those first 12, type stuff, and as he's getting the guns and everything else, and in the last one, he's not really in a whole lot of it, type stuff. It's her trying to save him in different ways, but these other side characters are doing things. And in this one, he doesn't really have all that big of a part. It's really centering more about our heroine, Becky there, and some of them. So I think since it's kind of taken a bit more of that turn in mixing, what I feel so much of these other, what do you want to call it, supernatural aspects, You got the mummy Asher, you got the, kind of the shamans, magician types, whatever you want to say. And, with all that type stuff that's coming around in there, it's really built its own world that's pretty neat.
I was really surprised in the first half of it. I can't remember what they were called, but they were like the knights or whatever that were chasing
Oh
them.
yeah.
they got the two guys, the pretty boy and the other guy, are sitting on the bank of the river waiting for him, and they come up and they're like, "Oh, your mummy's not going to save you now," or whatever. They're like, "Where is he?" "Oh, sorry, it took him a little while to double back, come around." Yeah, he came up behind him, and then they actually switched them and tricked them, and they banished them into the Wendigo winter
I
world or
know, they
whatever.
swapped with them.
And I was like,
It's like, yeah, we're not going to see them for a while.
yeah, I was like, is that the end of them?
I
I'm like,
know.
surely they'll come back, because you spent a lot of time like
I know.
establishing those guys, and then boom, they were
was
just
it like the
gone.
Saints of Abraham or something weird. I don't
Yeah,
remember,
something.
but- yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought the same thing. And because they weren't really a bad group, you know,
No.
they were just trying to get the guns to make sure that
Yeah. Well,
they
and
could take
also,
on the world or whatever.
I guess I don't really know that I paid attention like before this book, but like probably did. But they had that part where they put you could put all the guns like in the thing, and then
Center
you
there.
can change. Does it change
essentially,
reality?
it sounds
or-
like it sounds like you
resets everything,
can
or-
destroy whatever reality's going on, and you create it again in whatever you want.
Yeah.
So,
But so that was kind of cool to actually see where they were, that altar or circle or whatever where they were putting
put
a couple
swords.
of guns or whatever.
Yeah,
Excuse me.
or with the guns later. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
Back in
yeah,
the
the swords.
Crusades.
Yeah,
the
'cause they did the
swords.
Crusades.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was cool too.
I know. I thought that was neat.
Because they talk about
But they've
how,
kind of shown that back and forth, I think, even in the last ones. And
yeah,
how it could even
talk about how they've had different incarnations
of the weapons.
of the weapons. Yeah, that was really cool. All right, so I will cap off the evening with Benjamin Mara's Night Business.
I guess say business.
Business? No, it's business.
It is.
Busyness.
Business.
So I read a little bit
Why did you buy this?
by Benjamin Mara. I read a little bit,
Yeah.
and
What
I
did you
heard
read
him on
by
a
him?
different podcast. They did an interview with Benjamin Mara, and they were talking about how his stuff's just kind of like crazy, wacky out there.
Yeah.
And so this was solicited, and I think I got a pretty good deal on it. But anyway, I just wanted to check out Benjamin Mara's work, and this was a nice
Where'd you get
hardcover.
it?
I bought it from DCBS,
Oh,
out of
okay.
Previews.
Okay.
But this thing's crazy. Like, it's like set in the 80s. It does a really good job. It has the very vibe of like,
It looks like the art reminds me of like those crappy 80s comics, black and white.
yeah, kind of, sorta. It's like set in the 80s. It's got a good 80s vibe. It's just like, it's almost like a really crazy out there like 80s action movie. Like, you know what I mean? Like I don't even know what to compare it to, but I liked it. I mean, I thought the art's good. I don't know if that's like his style or if he did that for this. I mean, style is style, and I
Sure.
mean, I dug it. But
Yeah.
yeah, it really took me back to like the 80s indie black and white.
Yeah.
I'd agree with that.
So the gist of the story is there's these two guys, and they have a business. They rep exotic dancers, and so there's
It's night. They should call it Night Shift.
I
They could have got Michael Keaton.
yes.
Who's the
So they have like it's almost like a talent agency rep agents or whatever for exotic dancers in nightclubs, and there's a killer that's going around and he's killing all of these exotic dancers, and so the main
Why
character
would he do that?
the main character is trying to hunt this guy down and find the killer and take him out.
It's
One
a
of
mystery.
one of the things that I thought was that I loved about the book was one of the exotic dancers. She gets attacked, and her face gets all cut up, and she gets
Does Clint
stabbed.
Eastwood come and get
She gets
vengeance
stabbed
for
in the
her?
stomach, and no, she's the one on the bike with the helmet, and so it's just like that crazy like 80s whatever, anything you can do kind of thing. Where so she turns into a vigilante, and like all of a sudden like she was an exotic dancer, and now she got cut up and she was in the hospital, and now she can drive a motorcycle with machine guns and do flips, and she's like an expert marksman, and she's just like driving this motorcycle, like doing all kinds of tricks with it and flipping and all kinds of stuff. Get that out of there.
Night business.
Get that out of there.
Night shift. Same thing.
It's not the same thing.
Henry Winkler.
Henry Winkler and Michael Keaton.
It is not.
Shelley Duvall. Is Shelley Duvall in it?
No.
Okay.
But she could be. So anyway, I just thought that was like, there's a scene in there where she's like, she has machine guns mounted on the motorcycle, and she's like flipping up in the air, and she's like turning like the motorcycle to like kill guys on the roof, and then like doing flips to like kill people with like mounted machine guns.
Sure.
There's a lot of machine guns, a lot of people dying, a lot of battles. So anyway, the story.
How many
is,
karate kicks are there?
There's some karate kicks in there too.
Does he know karate?
There's not as much karate, but there are some kicks.
Does he know karate?
No. Okay. So it turns out that there's a secret cult that, and the local government is involved, the head of the cult, and so they're the ones behind the slasher, and they're trying to like raise this like, I think like a demon or something to come or whatever. I can't remember exactly what the point of the cult is, but at the heart of it, Drew, it's a love story.
Really?
Yes, because the main character was in love with the exotic dancer that got cut up, and for some reason he doesn't know that that's who it is under the helmet, because the helmet, so they end up teaming up, but they don't know who they are, but they both love the other one, but she thinks that since her face is all scarred up, he won't love her. And so it's kind of like it's a love story.
I hear you. I love a good love story.
But I really did enjoy it. I thought it was just almost kind of like a time, you know what I mean? Like a slice of time.
Sure.
And
I love the Night Business logo. That's pretty classy.
Yes.
I mean, that's something else.
It's just crazy, like, it's just out there, like crazy, wacky, out there.
That's cool.
But I really liked it.
Nice.
I don't know what else Benjamin Mara's done. I know he's been doing a little bit of work, because I bought a few of his single issues, but they're through like, it's not Fantagraphics.
This is Fantagraphics.
Okay, it's Fantagraphics then, but he's done some stuff, so I've read a little bit, but yeah, I was actually listening to 11 O'Clock Comics, and they had him on there, and they were talking about how his stuff was just like crazy, wild, like out there, and so I was like, it sounds really, you know what I mean? Like,
cool.
I'm into the oddball stuff, so I mean, it just sounded like something I would be interested in. I saw that solicited, so I just bought it.
Cool.
Sight unseen. It's like getting your comics bound before you read them.
Yeah.
So
I got no problem with it.
I think it was a solid purchase.
Cool.
There is a lot of nudity in that book.
Gotcha.
It's not like graphic.
Well, they are
graphic.
They're like an escort service.
They're not an escort service. They're exotic dancers.
They're exotic dancers.
They said they were an escort service.
No.
They're just exotic dancers.
They're just exotic dancers.
But most of those guys are also escorts.
And some of them do coke.
Of course they do. It's
Nice,
the 80s.
nice.
It is the
It
80s.
is the 80s. There we go.
That was like Kool-Aid.
Looks like
in the
Streets
80s.
of Fire there or something.
Yeah. No, like I said, I mean, it really...
I love Streets of
If
Fire.
that's what he was trying to do, which I'm sure he was, it really captured the time. Like, I didn't even read the back of it. I just started reading the book, and I'm like, dude, this is like right out of the 80s. And I read the back, and it's like, yeah, set in the 80s, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, yeah.
Cool.
Nailed it.
Nailed it. Cool.
So anyway, check out Night Business and
Only
Plastic
if you're of age.
and Savage Dragon.
Only if you're of age.
Oh,
And-
yes.
Just be 21.
And what else did I read that was... Oh, yeah, the Four Norsemen of the Apocalypse.
That's 16. 17.
Yeah. You were reading stuff like that when you were 16.
I was reading lots of stuff.
You
I
were
shouldn't
reading
have been reading.
Watchmen.
Watchmen's not
When you were
bad.
12.
I was not 12 when I was reading Watchmen. I was reading martial law when I was 12. That was
Oh.
probably a bad parenting move.
Yeah, that's not... I don't know that I've even ever really read martial law, like all of it, now.
It'll change your
Is
life.
that Kevin O'Neill?
It is Kevin.
I can't believe I haven't read that. I love Kevin O'Neill.
I would tell you.
Alright.
Right? That's all I
Are
got.
we gonna do 4 for next time?
Sure.
All right.
You're up for it?
I'll try.
You'll try.
I'll try.
Try hard.
Hard.
All right. Cool.
All right. Well,
Sounds good.
thanks for listening to my review of a ton of comics I read.
Yeah, no
Right.
kiss.
We appreciate
Everybody should be reading Thor.
that. Apparently. I'm going to go catch up on it on my Marvel
So
Unlimited.
good. Yeah, you have to find out what Nick Fury said to Thor.
It's not 700 or something on there.
I can't remember where. It's in that run. I don't remember if it's actually 700. It might be before that.
We'll find out.
Yeah.
Cool.
So,
Sounds
all
good.
right. Thanks.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for
Thanks.
listening.
We'll catch y'all guys in a couple weeks. Bye.
Bye.